What up, y'all? I'm back again. Today, I wanted to talk to you about the narcissist and how they miss you and how they look for you in other people. Because a lot of times, a lot of channels and, these MDs and psychotherapists and stuff, they be talking about like how, you were basically like used, abused, but then you might wake up or something and then they just move on like no big deal, you know what I mean? And I and there's a few other people out there that will talk on this that we disagree, because you can tell in their actions over a period of time and by the things that we have incurred, at least some of us. And so when you were, for instance, the best type of supply, the best type of whatever, grade A supply or whatever they call us out there, when you are that, when you were that, I'm not saying you want to be that, but I just wanted to talk on this because I wanted to I feel like that sometimes we need to be built up because, they make it like, whatever, that we were like useless pieces of shit or something, and we're not. And that's not how the narcissist sees you. They may see you like that for a time, like when they early on break up with you or whatever, or discard you or disengage from you. But what's going to happen is over a short period of time, because they're always in denial. They're always in, denial. And then they also are in the mode of like, getting revenge, you know what I mean? So, but they do not ever want to accept the fact that they're wrong, because their construct doesn't let them do that. But over a period of time, they do realize that they made poor choices and that they were wrong and in some sort of ways, because your supply was so good that your supply shines through. And they may, this is the thing. And I've spoke on this before, even if you, just like we sin, they sin, you're going to have to deal with that sin. I mean, it doesn't just because they're a narcissist, they don't have to deal with it. They do project it onto people. But they also, when you treat people bad, I mean, because we've all experienced this, but I've kind of broke this down for myself because I've dealt with, I'm a very sensitive individual, and I have been in the past emotional individual, but I've learned a lot through these things, and I've learned a lot to hone certain aspects of this and to make this like a superpower for me. And that's what you got to do sometimes, as long as it's under the good construct. If there's something going on, and like a lot of times people bash a lot of good aspects of you, and all you need to do is you need to tweak it and get it to the point to where you have control, over the situation, because all the control should come from, your mind controlling your heart to some degree, you know what I mean? Because that's kind of how we got deflected on getting into situations with the narcissist. Sometimes, I talked on, the lust issue and stuff, but where we can let that get ahead of us or something like that, and that's never good. But also, like, we let our emotions get ahead of our mind or thinking, and you have to put a little logic behind things too, because you don't want to get emotionally hijacked anymore, and responding instead of reacting is a key to that, and dropping that ego down so you can see what's really going on. And that's kind of part of your spiritual awakening in this journey. And that's why, meeting the narcissist is a horrible, horrendous thing, but it's not the worst thing in the world if you can look at it from the right viewpoint, because it does empower you when you wake up. I'm not saying the empath doesn't wake up, but the empath that does wake up becomes maybe a super empath, or an empath that can protect themselves, know these red flags and signs and things, and they can veer off that path if they're going the wrong way. They also kind of, when you wake up, you get to the understanding at some point within a period of time, and you start studying these things, being on these channels and learning and reading books. You're going to be into this probably for the rest of your life to some degree, because you'll find if you woke up at 40, 50 years old, you're going to be like, yo, I don't ever want this shit to happen again. And that's half your life already, more than half your life, right? And you grew up in it. You were entrenched in it, as a baby, but thank God that we had the heart of a lion to go the right way and not the heart of the lion to devour individuals, right? So to God be the glory for that. But when you leave the narcissist, or the narcissist discards or detaches from you, or disengages from you, they know I don't know if they know, but right away, but they're going to come back. They're familiar with this territory, whether they're awake or asleep to this, because the construct they've done it so many times with so many different individuals. They know, even if they're an unawake narcissist, they still know what they're doing. And they still know right from wrong. They just don't abide by it. That's the thing. See, mankind abides by it, but we also have other construct that helps us back those things up, like remorse, so we can ask for forgiveness, right? For individuals when we treat them bad, or we love people, so we know what that feels like when we get hurt, but they get hurt sometimes in different ways and things like that. And so a lot of times when they're with you for a long period of time and you're that grade A supplier you were, a lot of times you're always giving. And so then they get to a point to where in the beginning, it's great because you built that mask up, and, unbeknownst to you, right? Because you're an unawake at this point in time. You spend a lot of time with them, but you're trustworthy, you're truthful, you care. And one thing you do know about this construct, maybe you were, a little naive in the narcissism construct to some degree. But it's because we were groomed, we brought up this certain sort of way. But at the same time, maybe we did have some deficits there, but we also had so many gifts and benefits. And that's kind of part of what I wanted to say too, is you are a lovable individual, but you just got to find, who's right to love on, who's not right to love on. We have a construct that is built on genuine, authentic individuality, and so the narcissist is and trust and love and treating individuals the way we want to be treated, and so when the narcissist, they're with you for a long period of time and you keep trying to, run on that hamster wheel or whatever, and you're getting breadcrumbed and you're giving them everything, but they do know these things. They know that even if they abuse it, but they knew they could trust you. You were trustworthy. They knew that they never got love like this before. Sounds like a song. Never got love like this before. Anyway, but they never got love like this before. They also knew that you were with them through thick and thin. And a lot of times, they didn't have your back, but they knew that you had their back, and they knew that you would give the shirt off your back for them. You would give them your last meal, during a certain period of time when you were unawake. And anytime that they were projecting onto you, you absorbed it, you reacted, you absorbed it, you didn't know better, but you love the individual. And if there's some things that they did know, is that there's never going to be out there somebody that may ever love them like you did. And there's a very good chance of that. The people that get onto these channels, the empaths that get onto these, there are a lot of empaths out there, and there are a lot of unawake empaths out there. But the ones on the channels are awoke. They're the chosen. They're the it's not that we're any special, because God's not a respecter of persons, but it does say something that, you heed a call, there's stuff that you did that triggered you into this and made you a better individual. Okay. There's nothing else you could say about it, but a woke empath is way better than an unawoke empath, because when you wake up, you learn to straighten yourself out, but still able to love and to live even better and more genuine, because you were doing some things that were fake, like people pleasing. and you're not doing that no more. You're not trying to fix somebody. That's fake. That's your mask. That was our mask. You see what I'm saying? So, we were just trying to get out of the situation or mow it over a little bit better. But now we deal with stuff, I'm not going to people please you. I've already been through this, and things like this. So we deal with these head on now, to some degree, we got to grow balls, and to some degree, the narcissist needs to cut some of their nuts off, man, because they have like way too much balls for what they're fucking putting. I'm sorry, excuse me, forgive me, but what they're putting forward, they don't have the balls to back it up, okay? And then when you actually check them, test them, a lot of times they fucking run away, okay? And so, but my point is when you're with them for a long period of time and you're filling them up, building them up, you're keeping that mask on, you're building that whole construct up, those those devils behind them or whatever, they get pompous. Okay, then they expect it. Then they're coming home and they're throwing all this crap on you, cheating on you, lying to you, doing all these things from the evil construct, right? And you just taking it. You're absorbing it. You're keeping them mellow while you're dying, while you're getting autoimmune diseases, while you're doing all these sicknesses and stuff. But you're keeping them level, man. You're keeping that fuel going. They're piped up. They're hooked up to you. They got their pipes hooked up. You're sucking you all day long, man, and you're like, yo, I got this, man. I still got this. Why? Because you cared. Love goes a long way, man. Even when the empath loves the narcissist, I'm saying, like, love is the greatest, most powerful thing in this world system, and it's always preached to as being fake, weak. No, genuine love that comes from the empath. We can pour our heart out, man. And what you got to do is when you're a woke empath, you don't lose that love. You just know who you can pipe it to and who you can't. But you only give it to people that give it back. You ain't getting it unless you're giving it back. But this because it's not like you're going to be looking for that transaction, but it's going to be a genuine thing because you're going to learn to hone that intuition. You're going to know those vibes. You're going to know those early red flags. You're going to know what's genuine and what's a knockoff. You can't help but see the narcissist now when you wake up, right? You just can't. You can't help it. And so my point is in the beginning, yeah, when you quit feeding them, this is the thing, you get to a point to where you're not reaction anymore. Then they break up with you, right? Because they're like, you're not feeding their flame no more. And then you're also like, when you make them pompous, put them in the middle of that, you're in the middle of that fuel matrix, then they start building all these secondary, tertiary, all these other narcissists, like all their supplies around them. And then they're flying monkeys. They get all built up. They build a whole army off your energy, okay? And because what happens is when they're pompous and built up and that mask is on, those devils inside them, they're not calling for them. They're actually building them up, man. They're like, yeah, keep getting that fuel. You're doing the right thing. And now we're going to go out and get more fuel. And when they're pompous, then they can wear that mask on nice and straight because they're continually dispersing all of that negative energy onto you. So they're getting, negative energy, they're dispersing onto you, and they're getting all of that, negative energy and good and negative the fighting they're getting from you. So they get that kind of energy, that negative energy, and then they're getting the energy of you being sad, you being hurt, you crying, you thinking about them, ruminating on them, and they're taking all that energy. Then they're going out and using that energy, converting it to negative fuel, or fake fuel to make them look fake. And then they're going to go out and get secondary, tertiary. They're going to be cheating on you and all this stuff, right? But that's only because you're pumping them up every day. Every day you're at home. You're their isolated empath. They could throw and displace all that regulated energy onto. Okay? And that's the thing. When you quit regulating them, then what happens? But you were the best supply they ever had. And you cared, and they know that genuinely everything was from your heart, man, that you Man, this is the thing. They haven't even had people in their family that care for them like you. They've a lot of times have never met somebody at that caliber that you're at. But they take it for granted because right away they went ahead and got pompous about it, right? They're like, oh, I got a gem here and I'm just going to, once you get devalued, they're just going to keep you in devalue mode forever. And then at some point when you maybe wake up or you start to kind of wake up, start to realize that, hey, when I react, when I give my emotions, then, they tear me to pieces, man. And they make me just, I'm all fogged up. They're taking my energy and they're getting me all hurt, from dealing with this. You get to a point like, hey, I'm not going to react anymore. I'm just going to respond to this. I'm going to let them fight with themselves, So when this stuff happens and you're not fueling them, they know soon enough, man, because they're having to fling this stuff everywhere else. So now they're going to have to go out and get a new supply, whether you know about it or not. But then eventually they discard you, right? Or you leave them because you're not doing it anymore. You're smartening up. You woke up. Fine. Because now they start blaming you because you're always the blame. Anytime they wanted to feel good, they would shift blame onto you. See, in their construct, they actually believe, at some point that, you're the cause of it, They're backwards, especially the ones that aren't awoke. The ones that are awoke know what they're doing. These guys know what they're doing, but there is a little bit of gaslighting to themselves, from this construct as well. Like their intuition is the opposite of ours. It's the beast mode intuition. So, a lot of times they're like, oh, you're holding them back. They're having to deal with you with all these problems and stuff. But all the problems they're from themselves, the shit that they're doing, other people. So they're just flinging it. And you're accepting it. But then you quit accept it. Then they break up with you, right? And then they move on and they're thinking that here, now you're going to be like chasing them. Okay? And they always expect that. They expect you to be just just a hamster wheel, more and more, getting breadcrumb. They'll breadcrumb you even when they break up with you, even sometimes. Or, depends, like a lot of times that's the case. And they'll treat you like shit if you let them. And they expect that, right? Because then when you chasing them after they break up with you, then that's ramping them up. It's boosting them up to the next supply. It's like hitting nitro, it's like turbo boost or something for them at the next supply, because now they're getting it from the next supply and they're getting it from you, the old supply. And you're just, what can I do? What can I do? Chasing them, calling them. And, when you don't do that, when you're like, I'm done. And you continue to back off and you don't feed it. You don't call them. They're like, why aren't they calling me? It's been 3 days. It's been 5 days. It's been 2 weeks. I haven't had them call me begging me to come back. Now it's been 3 weeks. Oh my God. And now this new supply, they're a piece of shit now to them. They're a piece of shit to begin with because they had nothing that you had. They just had maybe some fresh energy because they haven't been destroyed for the last 10 years or something, right? You also gave them dedication. Okay? And so they're out with now a narcissist or something. It's been 3 weeks. They're getting cheated on. They're like, the narcissist is backing off. They're starting to really fight. They're starting to find like panties and shit in the bed or some, all kind of shit. They got evidence and shit because the narcissists don't even, maybe narcissists don't even give a shit anymore. It's like, whatever, I can't handle this. Or their tertiary supply, right? The scrub maybe took them on some weekend trip or something, had sex with them, and then they can't handle it no more. They're like, oh my God, you're way too much for me. I mean, you might have been good looking or something, but oh my God, man, how I know that mug wasn't with you. I'll see you like maybe for like a day or two, but that's all I can handle. And then this kind of stuff happens to all these people because you're not around. You're not regulating them, right? See, they were doing this shit behind your back. But you were regulating them so they could come up cool. But now they're showing up to these people, secondary, tertiary, which they're shit to begin with most of the time. Not always. But a lot of times, and because a lot of them are built under the constructs of lying and cheating as well, and doing all these things, and they're cheating on other people and doing all this stuff, and they know what's going on. Or if they're cheating, the narcissist is cheating on you, they know it. So I mean, most of the time, a lot of times that's the case. And so but normally they would come to these secondary tertiaries, and you're the one sucking all that negative energy off of them, so they can come cool with them. But now they got nobody to fling it on, and they don't have you to blame, and they would continue blaming you if you would have started chasing them, because they would still be gaining energy and being able to get regulated that way. But because you quit chasing a man right away, it's like the energy is stopped. They're having to carry the pain around, the injuries and the pain. But see, if you would have started chasing them right away, like you used to, then you would be keeping them level to continue to keep this construct going a lot longer. Do you see how they do not get their karma, or they don't reap what they sow fully until you leave the whole energy? You cut your energy, your pipes, man. You cut your ties. When you completely cut your ties, they get all of their karma. But because you're still connected, I mean, on the old times when you would be connected, and it's like a big web. And so because you still have an energetic connection with them, and you still want them back, and maybe before you were awoke, you were unbeknownst to you, they were doing these things, but you didn't know. And I think that takes a lot of grace for God to allow you to wake up to this. But people, when you don't chase them, the whole construct starts to collapse, and secondary, maybe narcissist type supply is running away after 3 weeks, done. The tertiary supply that took them on a trip, maybe had sex with them, took them on a weekend trip. They used to be able to do maybe a couple weeks with them when you was around off and on, but not now. You're not there, so you're not regulating them, so they look like a damn witch. Or a mean man, abusive man, whatever, like same thing if it's a woman I'm talking to here. And so when you wake up and you respond, you don't react, you give them no energy, typically what you'll find is you're starting to starve them out, and they know this, whether they know you changed, and they know that it's changing them, but then they start to blame you. And, and most of the ones we're dealing with are usually unawoke, or, kind of, they know, but they still know they're doing dirty crap, man. I mean, that's my point. But then after it all settles, they're starting to collapse. So now they're like, yo, you haven't called them back. Now it's been like 2 months, 3 months, whatever. No contact. They try to reach out, they're blocked. I mean, like, because now they're starting to get a little hungry, thirsty, right? No. And if you're over it, and then you're happy, they hate happiness, because you're genuinely happy when you're not around them and you get over them. And they're going to be stalking you. You were the real deal. You were the real deal. You were the Evander Holyfield, man. You were, here it is. This right here is the M16, and this is the sniper rifle. Pow, 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 pow. So anyway, that's what you're doing to me. You popping them with the M16, and bam, hitting them with that sniper rifle. 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, no contact. 4 month, 5 month, 6 month, no supply. Yeah, so they see you happy, down the road, they're going to do all these hoovers, at least try, and you're going to turn them down, I hope, and continue on your pathway, man, to being the best version of yourself, being, legit. It's like you were like, it's like when, you're going legit, man, when you wake up. You're straight up legit. You don't need nobody. You don't need nothing. You just feel whole, That's what you come to over time, a wholeness. And that's what you seek out. A chosen one that wakes up, and you get away from the narcissist and you've been dealing with this your whole life, and say you're 40, 50 years old when you wake up or something, man. We want to walk away and heal because we've been dealing with this so long, and the whole concert, we learn all about it. And it's like, oh my God. Usually, generally speaking, well, at least for me, it came to me pretty quickly about understanding it, because the older you are that you wake up, it's like, shit, I've been seeing this stuff my whole life. I just didn't know that it ran tracked like that. And I didn't know people were so cold doing this around me. I knew people were, did cold stuff out in the world. I just didn't know they were right under my nose, But that's how it is when you grow up in these kind of families. But you wake up, you do these things, and the narcissist just doesn't know how to act. They want you back because you're happy and you're genuinely happy, and they cannot have that. And you're supposed to be their property, and you're getting away and you're shining, and they're not. They're dusty, or whatever they like to say. They're dusty, man. They're really dusty. They are, right? They even say they get ashen if they don't have supply and stuff. All their old supplies, like, yo, you was cool, man, back when you was able to regulate your shit, man, but you can't be flinging that shit on me. And the older you get, people don't want to do that stuff. Younger people maybe, because they're usually not so, they're more naive to these things, because they're just in younger age, and how could you expect them to? But we're older. A lot of us on these that are listening to stuff, we're older, man. And we ain't having that. We don't have that much time left. We're getting older. We know what some of this stuff looks like. And a lot of us by this age, we're starting to, be like, yo, even if I didn't know about narcissism and I'm just introduced to this witch, man, or this idiot man that's abusive, I could see it, at least somewhat, people ain't having it. As you get older, it's harder to find that supply. They might could find that one night supply, the 1 week supply, the few nights that they could hang out with somebody. But you were that in-house freaking fuel chamber, man. You were like the dang, you were like OPEC. They ain't getting that, man, no more. They ain't getting that. And then they're going to search for you and other people, and they're not going to be able to find them. And they're going to start projecting your traits and stuff that they remember onto other people to get them to react and respond back to them that way, so that they can have pieces of you. And they're not going to get it, because other people ain't going to fly like that. But they think they can. That's the thing. So as this thing grows longer and longer and older with them, and you're not responding, they're going to go out there searching for you and other people, trying to make other people you. Okay? And if they find somebody even close to you, it's not you. And they're building this construct around them. They're trying to mold them into you. They can't do that. And since you broke up with them, you've shined more, brighter, because you woke up and you left that fool, that Bia, that asshole. Now look at you. Man, I'm walking around. I got someone new with me. It's been time. I've healed. I got me a new woman, and my new woman is dope ass. You ain't shit. Or I healed. Make sure you heal. I'm saying, make sure you go through that healing stage, man. But once you heal, man, you get you a dope ass dude. Yo, I got a dope ass dude. You suck. You were shitty. I can't even look at your ass. I ain't got time for your ass. I got my man. And for the men, be like, I got my lady. And she dope. You ain't got shit on my girl. I used to think you did, but I used to think you was some shit. But that was until I woke up healed. And then I went out and I, I didn't go online looking for an online date like a narcissist would. I didn't take the lazy way out, and that's where all the narcissists are anyway. I went out, I healed, and I started to build in my own good structure, good nature. I built a lot of independence in my life, and I worked on myself, and my personality got stronger and more sincere, and had a different, like I said, everything's energy, right? But, I twisted my energy in a good way. I'm fueling myself. I don't need to fuel people, man. I'm there to love loved ones that I love and they love me back, baby. And that's it. And so, you start going out there and you're getting that confidence like you ain't never had before. Okay? Because you were always getting beat down by some narcissists and being unawoke. You weren't educated on who you were, where you came from. And those empty places in your heart, man, from not knowing these things, you had like these empty places that needed to be understood. You needed to understand stuff about your child and you just couldn't get it. But so when the narcissist threw you for a loop, man, whichever one got you to wake up, it's kind of like, the enemy sent out his minions to come get your ass and God turned it into something good. You got to look at it like that, and I know there's a lot of people that are hurting out there, but you got to keep just, man, hey, one foot in front of the other today if you have to, but you're going to grow. When you're with the narcissist, you're always going down and they're coming up. When the narcissist, whether the narcissist left you or you leave them, the narcissist is going to fall and you are going to come up. This is pure math, man. And so, you got to just keep it moving. They ain't got shit for you. There's nothing good in them for you. But you are going to be the best thing they ever had. And they're always going to search for you in other people, man. I'm not kidding. And then, listen, this is what's going to happen. Down the road, they're going to find somebody kind of maybe a little bit close to you. It's still not going to be you. And they're still going to be missing you. It's still going to be, okay? And guess this is what's going to happen right here. They're going to even screw that up. Because the narcissist will never win because they can't change and they're never going to change that construct and those voices in that head, and they're never going to apologize. This is the thing. They cannot love and they cannot have some sorts of, they have regret, but they do not have regret to the level of to where they let it be like, oh, their fault to a certain way. They don't have that type of regret to where they have depression. It's kind of like this. Their construct is more like they get depressed over what they did to you and they feel that emptiness. And then them voices come up and that abyss starts to grab them, and the mask is falling, all that. They understand what the hell they missing, but they don't feel it like in some weird kind of a regret as much as it's a horrible depression. They know how to read it. But that's, but so it really takes regret for forgiveness to ask, and you got to ask for forgiveness. They will never apologize. So their construct is stuck in failure. They're gaslit their whole life. And I don't care what people say. You can say it's a personality disorder. It's not. That's what it can, part of it does become that, but that's not the root of it. And it's just there. You know what? In some ways, they just, they're spiritually weak-minded people. I hate to say that, but I am saying it because I don't hate to say it. I kind of do. I kind of do, because I do feel for the narcissist, but you just can only go so far for feeling with them, because the more if you feel for them to the point to where you always want to constantly help them, it will destroy you, and they will destroy you, and they will go down with that ship. They don't care as long as they're destroying you and them. They don't care. And that's why a lot of times you don't want to start any kind of like vengeance with them if you can. And you know, I think a lot of people get the super empath and situation stuff kind of twisted, because the super empath a lot of times doesn't go for vengeance. They just the super empath, when you wake up, you get the knowledge, understanding, and they understand the construct. They just want to back away and get out of it. And they will sometimes do it in ways that will preemptively hurt the narcissist, where like if like for instance they would get in a predicament like this in the future and they realize, oh, I'm with the narcissist, they would know it right away. Some empaths that are woke would go down that road to learn the construct better because they're dealing with it like that for a short time. Not to say, I'm not saying this is right, I'm saying, but this is kind of how this stuff works. And they will kind of like a case study, okay, that they've been through this damaged stuff so much, but now they're awoke, so they want to see, they want to check themselves, okay. And then the other part would be that they also, some empaths would go down this for like, or a super empath or something, if they got in a situation where the narcissist thinks they're playing them, well, the empath or the super empath will understand this construct and understand this, and they will walk it out with them, kind of like maybe a higher level, mid-level narcissist would do with a lesser narcissist, and they'll play that that narcissist, and then they will break up with them and do all of the things the narcissist would do to them, not in the bad stuff like the cheating and all that, but they would like break up with them preemptively, where they know the narcissist is just waiting to do it to them. This is the kind of stuff, and then they'll get the narcissist chasing them and they won't give them no time. So these are the things that, like, where the super empath construct could go. I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying that I would do it. I have experienced some of these things, so that's kind of that. It's not like the people say, oh, they're going to destroy. Well, they do, but that's what it takes. It takes, sometimes, you know, you need people out there like that. And as long as they don't do things with a vengeance, so to speak, because we don't work in that construct, generally speaking. But anyway, I'm going to let this go. Please give me a thumbs up, a like, and a subscription. I love y'all very, very much, and I hope this thing feeds you in a good, wholesome way. Build your spirits up. I want subs. I want love on the channel. I want notes and thoughts and all that. So peace be with you. Peace and blessings, everybody, because I love y'all from here to eternity. Peace. Stand tall, soldier. Peace out. Love y'all. Peace.